But Mark, let's move on into our next topic, and we're looking at Super Bowl talk here. And the reason being is there are two teams that lead their respective conferences right now, and the funny thing is they are both from the state of Pennsylvania. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles, who are the top team in the NFC. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are the top team from the AFC. I want to ask you plain and simple to start this discussion, who has the better chance to reach Super Bowl LII, L-I-I, the Steelers or the Eagles?
I think it's the Eagles. I know that Pittsburgh has a lot of the, a lot of people are going to say they've been there, done that. They've gone, they've won. Big Ben's a great leader. Carson Wentz is this young kid. But, this Philadelphia Eagles offense almost wants to remind you of a Greatest Show on Turf of just, and we were just saying that last year, right? I don't think anybody can stop them. And maybe that's a scary thing when I want to compare them to the Falcons, but the Falcons would have won with good coaching. Yeah. I don't think anybody can stop the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
And they would have won if, Tom Brady wasn't on the other team.
All you had to do was run the ball a few more times, and you probably would have won. Or just score another touchdown. That would have been great, too. Anyways, the Philadelphia Eagles, they just look like this unstoppable team. Carson Wentz is an absolute monster out there saying that, when Aaron Rodgers retires, when Tom Brady retires, it's going to be my NFL. It's my NFL. I'm going to be the next great guy.
Love it.
Of course you would. Especially now that the next competition up for Deshaun Watson just got hurt. So Carson Wentz is looking real pretty right now to be the next great NFL quarterback.
Well, it'll be him and Goff, right? Well, him, Goff,
we'll see how Goff continues to do.
Yeah, him, Goff, and Dak are the three young guys right now that are kind of like waiting there for the Big Ben's, Tom Brady's, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees to walk off into the sunset.
I think someone said I think it was on Twitter, the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL this year are all the young kids. And I just feel like this Philadelphia Eagles team, one reason I like them more than the Pittsburgh Steelers is they are scoring at a rate that is hard to keep up with. 31 points a game. And I know that the Pittsburgh Steelers have one of the best defenses in the league at stopping teams from scoring. But this Philadelphia Eagles team has one of those offenses where I think it's too difficult to stop. You can limit part of it. Maybe it's that you're going to limit the run game. Maybe it's that you can get Alshon Jeffrey to not be as productive as he should be. But there are so much going on, so many weapons for Carson Wentz to take advantage of that I don't think you can stop everybody. They've got 3 very great, competent running backs there that if you can slow one of them down, the odds are the other one can get something going because the game is a little different for them. There's just so much going for the Philadelphia Eagles on offense that I have trouble seeing very many teams being able to stop them.
Now, I want to, before I go into the other side, because I'm going to go into the Steelers, I want to give my answer is the Eagles. However, I could see if someone is saying the Steelers. And the reason why I say that is there are 2 big things that worry me about the Steelers. Number 1 is injuries. Big Ben's been injured. Is Antonio Brown going to eventually get fed up with not getting the ball enough? Yeah. Will Le'Veon Bell get injured? That's the big 3, the killer bees. Will one of them go down? Will one of them not be happy? I mean, even look at the whole Martavius Bryant situation. However, Juju Smith has come up and been a big surprise for that team. The other thing that worries me about the Steelers is, remember about a week or 2 ago when we were talking about Steelers and the Chiefs, and I said, you know what, there's always that one team where it's like, man, we can't beat that one team. For the Chiefs, it's the Steelers. For the Patriots, it's the Giants. For the Steelers, it's Tom Brady. It's not even the Patriots. It's Tom Brady. The Steelers just can't beat Tom Brady when it comes to the playoffs.
And the odds are they're going to have to go through New England.
And no. I'm on the other side with that. And this is the thing. Now, if the Patriots are the 2nd seed, I'm not saying that they're not going to get to the AFC Championship because right now they are on a roll. However, with how the top three are suited right now, let's say for the sake of argument, it stays like it is right now. Steelers, Patriots, Chiefs. The good thing for the Steelers, I know that Steeler fans are probably saying, no. Give us the Chiefs in the second round. We want an easy win. Steeler fans, do you want that easy win? Or do you want the Chiefs to finish third, win that first game, and go play the Patriots, who they have already demolished this year in Foxborough? If I'm a Steeler fan, I am hoping that obviously my team gets home field throughout, but I am hoping that the Chiefs stay at that number 3 or stay at 3 or go to 2, and it has to be Chiefs Patriots if that 3 team wins, because I want the Patriots to try to get through the Chiefs yet again. I know that the Chiefs are kind of on the downcline right now. They were on the upcline early. Now they're on the downcline. I believe they've lost 3 straight or 2 straight, something like that. However, I want the Patriots to have to go through Kansas City.
I want them to go through Cleveland
before they would get to us.
Yeah.
Go through Kansas City before you get to us. I'd rather have that than the Steelers play the Chiefs, get that easy win, but then still lose to TB in the championship game for the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have a good point when you go through history for sure. I feel like something with the Pittsburgh Steelers that always kind of surprises people. They are a team that kind of surprises you with the loss. I think no one would have expected them to lose to the Chicago Bears. They are a team that they'll look like everything is going well for them, and then they'll have a game in the playoffs where they can't score a touchdown. With all these offensive weapons. They are a team that will surprise you, and not in a good way, is really what I kind of feel history shows. If you want to talk about history, which is what we were just doing, that is an issue for the Pittsburgh Steelers. When it really comes down to me of which one of these teams is more likely to make the Super Bowl, the reason I have to go with the Eagles as well is because I'm going to take New England over Pittsburgh every single time. Kansas City, like you said, they're falling off a little bit, but I think that they should be able to bounce back. When it comes to the NFC, I can't see the Eagles losing to the Vikings, the Rams, the Panthers, maybe the Cowboys, but that depends on Zeke. Maybe the Seahawks. I don't know. The Seahawks are, as much as that offense is awesome, and there's still reminiscence on the defense of the glory days, it's falling off a little bit. The New Orleans Saints are the team that scares me the most for the New England. I can't say anything right now for the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think that Carson Wentz can go toe-to-toe with Drew Brees very well. Now, that Saints defense is really good right now, so that'll be an interesting side to it.
Here's the thing about the Saints defense, though, and this is one thing I heard Colin Cowherd say today, and I agree 110% with him, is right now that Saints defense is doing really well because they had a nice draft class and the rookies are really playing up. However, when it gets to a playoff game, I'm going to take veterans over rookies.
Sure, but then that should tell you to take the Steelers over.
I'm going to take veterans over the Eagles, maybe. But the thing is, will the Steelers, the question is, reach the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Because right now everyone's talking, today, I believe on First Take, they talked about these two teams meeting in the Super Bowl.
But the Philadelphia Eagles would have to play in the playoffs, and the theory is saying that the veterans are more likely to win in the playoffs than the rookies.
And the thing is, here's the flip side to that. The AFC, to me, is more top-heavy stronger than the NFC. It's more top-heavy stronger. Like you said.
Yeah, without Aaron Rodgers,
I could see the Eagles beating the Saints. I could see the Eagles beating the Vikings, because the big thing that the Vikings don't have right now,
quarterback.
Knock on wood, because Teddy Bridgewater might be coming back, but, I mean, they don't have that quarterback like the Saints do. They don't have a Drew Brees. However, the thing with the Steelers, and I'm going to harp on it again, and Steeler fans are going to get mad at me, the only way the Steelers are reaching the Super Bowl is if they don't have to play Tom Brady. Because think about this. With Big Ben, the only 2 years that Big Ben has reached the Super Bowl and won this, well, won the Super Bowl, not reached. I didn't look at the Green Bay year, but the 2 Super Bowl winning years. The first one was the 2006 Super Bowl, I believe, when they played the Seahawks in Detroit. New England lost to Denver in the semifinal round, or the divisional round. Then the Steelers beat Denver in the AFC title game. The second Super Bowl, which was in 2009 when they played the Cardinals. Do you remember what happened to Tom Brady that year?
That was his injury year.
He got injured. He wasn't even in the playoffs. So both years that you won the Super Bowl, you didn't even get to play Tom Brady. You didn't have to go up against Tom Brady. Because odds are, if you go up against Tom Brady, you know, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady just know how to figure out. They just know how to figure out a Mike Tomlin team. Look at last year, and it's plain and simple. You'll see that result every time.
I think that's one reason why, and this is very emotional, but that I would go and pick the Pittsburgh Steelers if Big Ben goes out there and says, this is it. After this, I'm calling it a career. And win or lose.
And I just looked it up. The year they lost to the Packers, guess who beat the Patriots in the divisional round in Gillette?
I don't know who.
That was the
Bart Scott, was the can't wait.
That was the can't wait.
Flying like a jet plane.
Yeah, when they won 28-21. Oh yeah, and then Pittsburgh spanked Mark Sanchez, Rex Ryan, and that Jet team.
That was a good one.
That was also the bicycle year for Chicago.
That's right. Good times.
That was the bike year.
Good times. You know, if Big Ben were to go out there and say, this is it, I'm retiring after this, you know, very Ray Lewis style, I feel like I would want to lean and say the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to get to the Super Bowl then.
No.
I very much believe in that whole mentality of
win
the
for
morale.
The Gipper.
Yeah, teams are going to play up for their guy, a guy like Big Ben, who already said, and this is a reason why I kind of don't believe in the Steelers this year, that he's debating retirement.
No, now, you got to go all in.
I feel like he's kind of gotten out of that now with their 3-game win streak against, you know, they got a good win against the Chiefs for sure. I know you're going to say they always beat the Chiefs, but they also had a good win against the Lions. I don't really want to give the Bengals too much credit, but it is a divisional game. So I don't know. I mean, they seem like they're kind of coming out of that for sure, but I think if Big Ben is going to make an announcement like that, I have to put a little bit of weight into that one, but to me, not much is going to change me from saying the Eagles are more likely to get there than the Steelers.
Well, and here's the thing that helps. This is another positive for the Steelers, because when you look at the remaining schedule, of course, anything happen any given Sunday. However, when I look at the Eagles' schedule remaining, they've got some tough games. They've got 2 against Dallas. They've got a road game in Seattle. They've got a road game in LA, the Rams. That's going to be a tough one just because of those 2 offenses. They could win that game, but it'll be tough. And then they got whatever Oakland team shows up. So maybe 4 to 5 games where it's like, okay, those are going to be some games. I'm sorry, Chicago. I'm sorry, Giants. Eagles are going to win. However, with the Steelers, at Indy, win. Tennessee on a Thursday night, win. Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers, win. Cincinnati, you beat them 29-14. Yeah, I know it's a divisional game, win. I'll give you the win over the Baltimore Ravens. The 17th, you lose. It's the Patriots. You don't beat Tom Brady. Win against Houston, win against Cleveland.
Sure.
Like, this Steeler team has the rest of the way paved to the number one. Like,
sure, regular season's nice, but you got to play in the playoffs.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Based off of the regular season, the thing for the Steelers that is going to help them the most is getting number one. If they get number one overall in the AFC, that's check number one. Okay, we did number one. Because then you leave it into the hands of, okay, let the Chiefs play the Patriots. Let's bank on the Chiefs upsetting the Patriots like they did to open the year. Interesting thing about that, though, different Chiefs team at the start. Eric Berry was healthy for most of that game and shut down Gronk. This defense, not the exact same that we saw to open the year. So that game is even up in the air. The Steelers, though, I mean, you might come back. Hey, you want to get to the Super Bowl? You want to be the best? You might have to beat the best. You might have to actually beat Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl.
The one thing I'll add to this easy Pittsburgh schedule, Pittsburgh, like I said, they are a team that will surprise you in a bad way. So
They could lose to the Browns.
I would fully expect Pittsburgh to lose one of those games that you're saying is an you should win.
Could you imagine
The
Browns go 0-15? They play Pittsburgh. Where's that game at? In Pittsburgh. They walk into Pittsburgh on New Year's Eve. End 2017 with a win. And go
I
1
fully
and
expect
15.
it. If they were to be 0-15 going in that game, I would. I'm not going to bet money, but I would be willing to bet money on that because the Browns aren't the Lions. They're not going to go 0-16.
I'm hoping either the Niners or the Browns go 0-16.
I'm hoping both teams go into Week 17 0-15, win the last game.
So they both go 1-15.
I hope so.
You don't want no 0-16 team?
Nobody's the Lions. Only the Lions can be the Lions. Let them have something, Ricky. Let them have something.
Do you remember who was the head coach of that Lions team?
Who was that?
He was with your team as a DC, and now he's with the Cowboys.
He's Rod Marinelli.
Rob Marinelli was the head coach.
Good stuff, man.
Which was funny, and I only know this because me and Brandon looked it up last night. If you look at his year by year, he had a bad year his first year, I believe. Then he was 7-9 and went from 7-9 to 0-16.
It's good
in
stuff.
1 year.
But you know what? You get good stuff out of that when you go to the draft. So that works out. Yeah. You got to let the Lions have something, man.
Final thoughts. Who is, out of the two?
Yeah, Philly.
I'm going to ask you this, though. Is there a chance that we see both of these teams in the Super Bowl and we have a Pennsylvania Super Bowl?
No, I would doubt that. I don't think that'll happen. Like I said, I think Philadelphia is more likely to get in, but if I had to put my money on two different teams right now, it's New Orleans, New England.
New Orleans and New England?
I'm really liking what I see out of the Saints.
I would not pick
really
the
like
Saints.
what they got on defense going on. It's all coming together. And Drew Brees, he's another one of those old guys who wants to get one more ring before he's done.
That defense, I wonder how far it's going to carry them, especially with how young that team is.
The defense is doing well, but they
because-
got Drew Brees out there. They don't need it to carry them.
Think about this. Rookies are different than sophomores.
Sure.
Like, yeah, the Eagles are kind of young in some places, mainly at quarterback, but I would take Carson Wentz over the rookies on the Saints defense. However, the rest of the NFC, it's kind of weaker this year. So I would say the Eagles have the easier road into that playoff.
The thing that does scare me with the Philadelphia Eagles is they remind me of a couple teams right now. The Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Two teams with really hot offenses, not amazing defenses. They don't need a good defense because they can score more than anybody, and it catches up, and they don't actually get it done. So maybe that should say, yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles for 100% are going to be in the Super Bowl this year because I just compared them to two Super Bowl teams. But then, of course, they're going to lose it.
Or
in tremendous fashion, actually.
Or the one that you completely forgot about, and I have to kind of go back and see. I got to go back to the right year that I'm looking at because, yeah, it was this one. It was the 2002 Super Bowl. Or you can compare them to Tom Brady's first Super Bowl.
Because of the sophomore thing?
Well, no, not the sophomore thing. Think about this. If, let's say, the standings end like they are now, and the Eagles meet the Patriots in the Super Bowl, that year the Patriots were the second best team in the NFC. Yeah, they had a close one against Oakland. That was the Tuck Rule game. And they also had a win over Pittsburgh, number one Pittsburgh, which could happen this year in the AFC Championship game. But who did they play in that Super Bowl? The number one seeded, greatest show on turf, St. Louis Rams.
Sure.
Could happen this year where New England goes, Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl, beats Pittsburgh in the AFC title game, number 2 seed, playing a high-flying offense, and the Eagles. Oh, wait, guess what? That happened last year as well.
Yep. Well, I don't need to go back 15 years. I had
just one
last year and the year before that to compare it to.
Basically, if you're the Eagles or the Steelers, don't play the Patriots and you'll win. don't play the Patriots, and your winning percent goes up tenfold. I know Sean is
That's
sitting,
for every team out there.
I know Sean at home is going, yes, and also Alex Smith is not a good quarterback. That's what Sean is saying at home.
That's
watching
the only
this
thing
video.
Sean says.
But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think. Are the Steelers have the better chance to make the Super Bowl? Do the Eagles have the better chance? Let us know why in the comments down below.